I just love it. Like, I'm really impressed by the quality and how nice it is. An Evercade.
Yeah.
Which we were talking about in past podcasts.
Literally, of our last episode.
Yeah, the last episode. And the time before that, did we mention it?
No.
No. That was the
E3.
I'm getting over myself.
So, definitely one step better than the Intellivision Amico.
That's what I was just about to say. I thought we mentioned it when we first mentioned the Intellivision, but we didn't. It was the next stream. Podcast. It's amazing. Like, as we said last time, so hyped because of it's licensed, and it has those individual cartridges. But we were really excited to get our hands on one to see
what's it actually like.
What's it like? What's the build quality like? Is it one of those like horrible cheap plastics? Is the screen nice? Do the controls, do they feel nice? And just what is it like in person? And we sort of both said, oh, well, we'll wait a bit and get one. And then obviously being my birthday soon, these guys jumped out and went, there you go. I was like, are you serious?
It's genuinely hard. I was saying to you just before we start recording, it's really hard to buy someone a present that you actually want yourself.
Yeah.
But also, it's kind of like you're a guinea pig as well.
True.
Because it's a gift, so it doesn't actually matter if it's a bit shit or if it's really good, and then it's a bonus.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, it's a thoughtful gift, something I know you'd like.
Yeah. If you think it's all right, then maybe I'll get one later.
Yeah, exactly. And if it's total trash, then I don't need to worry about it.
I dodged a bullet. Right?
But the problem is, as soon as you opened it, turned on that screen, which I think is an IPS screen.
It's got to be IPS. It's not TN, because as soon as you change the angle,
it's the color maintains.
Yeah, it doesn't like grey out, which is a classic TN issue.
As soon as you turn it on, and obviously the first game we played was Earthworm Jim.
Oh yeah,
because why not?
Because
it looked amazing.
Yes,
the buttons, they were just gorgeous. The rigid nature of the chassis,
and how like thick that plastic felt.
It feels really premium in hand. The games looked fantastic. They responded so smoothly,
super quick as well, wasn't it?
Perfect emulation. It's a problem because now I have to buy one, but because I'm a child, I can't buy the same thing as you. I'm going to buy the console version.
That's great because we can use this as a controller on the console version.
It's going to be slick. I genuinely thought, there was part of me that thought it was going to be like one of these.
Yes.
I've got this like obviously totally illegal Game Boy ripoff that's preloaded with 1,000 Nintendo games.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's quite good.
Yeah, it's not bad.
But the plastic's really thin.
And it creaks when you press on it.
The buttons aren't that responsive.
And you can actuate the buttons without pressing the buttons, can't you?
I've like, if you hold the B button too hard, it can sometimes flex the plastic enough to press the reset button. It's a bit janky. But I don't know how much this costs. It was a gift.
Yeah.
And like I thought this could be, as a gift, you go, it's kind of cute, it's kind of cool.
Yeah, that's a great gift.
It's not like breaking the bank money.
No, and you haven't gone out and spent like a lot of money yourself on it, expecting it to be great.
Like the Intellivision Amico.
Exactly.
Quid.
Yeah.
I think what these retailing at 70, 60, 70 pounds.
Either 70 or 80.
Yeah.
But Game UK are selling the premium pack and the starter pack at £60. So I don't know what they're doing there.
The other thing, you can drop the box if you want.
No, I was just like, oh.
The other thing that really, really impressed me is how big it is and how big the screen is.
Perfect size. Because I was worried that it would be a little bit small to give yourself like hand cramp. And I didn't expect it to have a very ergonomic shell. So I was expecting it to be a little bit like claw grippy. Get a bit of cramp after use, but it's actually like you can tell these guys have come from an actual user point themselves and gone, you know what, we want something that's going to be comfortable and big enough for adult hands. And the controls have got to be snappy, like, and responsive. And
I've put a thumbprint on it. Right in the middle of the screen.
Cleaned the screen as well.
Just for this, I just did that. Oh, I did it again.
Oh no!
I have to clean the screen again. Don't let me near clean screens. I can't help myself. Do you know one of my favourite things are the shoulder buttons? Listen to that.
Perfect.
Oh,
that sounds really good enjoyable. As well. Yeah, it sounds great on the headphones.
But you're right. It's really ergonomic. It fits really comfortably. It's like a little bit better than the Switch. for its ergonomics.
Yeah, ergonomic wise, yeah. I mean, I would have to agree because it actually fits your hands.
Yeah, Switch is a bit too big.
Switch is too big and it's too thin.
Yes.
And there's no comfort grooves on it.
No,
It's just
got moulding.
Yeah, it's got moulding around the edges and it's fat enough to actually get your hands on it.
Yeah.
And these like shoulder buttons are like got comfort grooves in, but they are moulded.
Yeah.
So that you actually can rest your fingers on comfortably.
Yeah.
So you're not like pulling your fingers below it like I do with the Switch. If I'm not using the triggers, I often
and
just
then you get
drop
cramp
them.
and stuff.
Yeah. Whereas this actually fits really nicely. The screen's wide enough with that 16:9 ratio.
Yeah.
Even though you can adjust it to stretch or play in like almost 4:3 kind of style.
Yeah. So you can, for those that are unsure, you can have the games as standard as they're supposed to be, 4:3.
Yeah.
But very simply in the settings, you can switch it to 16:9 to fill the whole screen.
Yep. And you don't have to be in the main menu to do that.
No.
You can do it there, but if you were playing a game and you went, actually, I want to stretch it out or I want to revert it, mid-game, you can just press, menu button, go down, change, and it's as quick as that. It's really quick.
Yeah.
Like it's super, super snappy.
Game to load instantly.
Yeah. And the sound's pretty good as well.
Yeah.
Like, with these little speakers. I mean, all over, you can see that they've taken care in the design of this.
Yeah.
And I like that white and red retro arcade look.
Yeah, it's cool.
I'm really impressed by just, again, the lack of flex anywhere. Like the build quality is really nice. I like the sort of big round D-pad just for use on certain games that might require like fighting games where you need to do rolls and stuff with it, which you certainly can't do on a Switch. Because of those stupid little buttons.
End up getting like friction, but
but all of it's great. The sound like works well. The volume placement is good on the bottom. Yeah, because you can just quickly tap it, and you're not running the risk of accidentally
not knocking it by accident.
And you've got a headphone out. You've got a micro USB for charging. It's not a USB-C, but to be fair, most people have micro USBs. It's not the end of the world.
I'd say the only thing that disappoints me with it is that the output for putting on the TV is a mini HDMI and not full-sized.
Yeah, and it's 720p.
Yeah.
That you're going to notice because it's retro games that you're displaying.
Yeah, and as long as it interprets it to fill the screen and doesn't leave a space.
Yeah, but fine. You might be able to change that like in the menu maybe, like when you adjust those screen sizes might reflect onto the TV.
I'm curious. I'll have to look again as to what the console's putting out.
Yes.
Whether that's 1080 or 720. I can't remember.
I would have thought 720.
It would make sense for it to be the same.
720. Yeah, it would make sense because the screen's small here.
Yeah.
Doesn't really need to be any higher resolution than that. To be fair, 720 is probably overkill.
Yeah.
And then 720 on the TV makes sense because, again, it's not like...
Isn't that what the Switch puts out via dock?
No, 1080. 1080p. 720 handheld.
Yeah.
1080p docked is the Switch. Unless you're a believer of the Switch Pro 4K.
4K, definitely coming.
Yeah, I don't believe that.
That's all because of Tony Hawk's.
Yeah, just because of Tony Hawk.
Super Nintendo Switch.
But in the meantime, if you can't get a Switch Pro, like no one can, then get yourself an Evercade. But seriously, the build quality and everything of this, I am impressed.
Like, for the price?
For the price, for £60, like, damn, that is
epic.
worth it.
Yeah.
And the game cartridges... you've got the boxes, which is great, and we've said before in our previous podcast that you get collections of games.
Yes.
So the cartridge isn't just one game like a Game Boy.
Yeah,
it's like a whole bundle from, I don't know,
typically a publisher.
Yeah, like Atari or whatever it may be. And what I really loved when you take those cartridges out and you slot them in, it fits flush with the system.
Yeah, that's nice.
Like, so it literally fits the ergonomics of the actual console itself. But then it's got like a little blaze thumb groove so you can push it back out. But then on the very bottom of it, it's got, what collection you have there. So you don't have to
see the game.
Exactly.
Still.
You don't have to pop it out and go, oh, that's what I've got in there.
Yeah.
Like, you've got it printed on the back with the number that it is. And then on the opposite side, you've got like the picture of the actual, you've got the picture of the collection and that.
So it matches the cover.
Yeah.
The other thing I really liked, I don't know if we can get a game case out a second.
Yeah, definitely.
The game cases have a like an Atari feel to them, like the Atari cartridges, maybe the Master System as well.
Yeah.
The cases look similar. They'll sit really nicely as a collection because they're all numbered.
Yeah, I love that.
But also, once you get inside, you've got a little artwork booklet inside, which shows you a little bit of detail about each game, and I really liked that. So you've got this spine, which it reminds me of the Master System, and I'm not sure why.
Yeah, no, I feel the same. Yeah.
They'll sit really nicely for anyone that wants to collect them, which I'm sure we will. And then you have this really lovely little artwork booklet inside. I just like that little touch.
Yeah, and it's full color. It's not just like an afterthought. Like they've actually put some time into these little booklets showing you every game that's in there.
Tells you the controls, about the game, some tips, and then the history of the game.
Yes, and when it was released.
Yeah.
So, like, let's say Pac-Man, for instance, in Japan, 1984, USA, 1993. So, like, and all that kind of stuff, and genre, and it's just great. Like, if you're watching on YouTube, you can probably see, like, our little things that we're showing you. But it's just so well thought out, and again, the cartridges sit in there really nicely. You know, I don't like feel like I'm going to damage the cart pulling it in and out. No. Some of those old cases gripped on for dear life.
Yeah, it really did.
You know, and I was always a bit worried pulling them in and out.
Yeah.
But these, it just, you know, it's great, and they're a good sized box. They're not overly large.
Do you know the thing that I'm just thinking about that's really surprising me is that the emulation is so good, yet the games, they weren't even remotely on the same systems.
No.
So you've got like Pac-Man there.
Yeah.
Which is from like the Atari 2600.
Yeah.
An 8-bit game. Then we were playing Earthworm Jim on the same console, just swap a cart in and out, which is a 16-bit game from the Mega Drive or Genesis if you're in America. That's kind of incredible.
It's cool. Yeah, it's really cool. And just how quickly it can do that, like jump from one to the other.
Cart in, on, it's loaded.
And each cart on the front says like 8-bit and 16-bit games.
That's kind of crazy.
So you don't need to reload the system or anything.
Cross-platform emulation.
It's just bam, like works. Yeah.
Really good.
Yeah, very cool.
So if you're looking for a retro games console this year, and maybe you saw the Intellivision Amico and went, oh, that's the thing for me, don't buy that. Save your money.
Yeah, don't buy that at $250.
Go for the Evercade.
Get the Evercade.
Maybe if you want one for everyone to play, get the Evercade Versus, I think it's called.
Yep, it's coming out.
£100? Yeah, November it's coming out.
Yeah.
I'm going to pre-order it.
Yes, yeah, £100 for a 4-player console.
Crazy.
And these game cartridges, which are bundles of games, up to 20 games, I want to say.
Yeah.
They're like £15 to £20 each. That's pretty good.
Pound a game.
That's pretty good. And I just love the fact that it's a physical cartridge. And that console version, you can load 2 cartridges in at one time. So you can swap between them rather than having to go through multiple. But I just love it. Like, I'm really impressed by the quality and how nice it is to hold, because I really thought it was going to be smaller.
Yeah, and I was worried it was going to be cheaper, or the screen was going to be a NAF panel or something.
Yeah.
And that does lead me on slightly to what's definitely going to happen with the games on that.
Yeah.
Is that we'll be probably streaming some of them.
Of course.
On one of the other 128 KB channels.
Definitely, yeah.
Or if you're bored enough to watch us live on Twitch.
Yes, yeah.
128 KB live if you're looking on Twitch. We streamed this week for the first time.
Yeah.
Star Fox 2.
4?
It's
Star Fox 9. It's not even been released.
27. Wow. Okay.
I don't know why I said 4.
You're thinking of 64.
I'm like looking around thinking, is there only like 4s in my view? Because I've just like looked at something and then just read it. But yeah, Star Fox 2, we did play that.
And we smashed it in like half an hour.
We actually played the whole game, start to finish. It was brilliant.
So we'll be playing some of these games, looking at the console in a bit more detail.
Yep.
So have a look
at
some of the other channels that are out there.
Yeah.
Me, Andy, and Pete's face. Just that, really.
Just that, yeah, nothing else.